2, 3, 4. Do. Pow, pow, pow. All right, greetings. So, live from outside the survival pod out here cooking. What's the topic today? Billie Eilish talking about, hey, no one's illegal on stolen land, and the controversy of the local tribe, I think it's the Tonga tribe or something like that, saying, hey, actually, that was our property before it got stolen. I'm laughing my ass off about this because it reminds me of one major thing. Every socialist thinks they're going to be the ones in charge and not the ones working in the shoe factory. And generally, the rich socialists that you run into, they're the first ones to be like, we need to tear things down. It's kind of a Farquad line of thinking. And by the way, Freedom Phil, like and subscribe. Always turn up the video speed. If I upload this, you watch the 1.75. Like and subscribe. Let's get into it. They're always the first to say you should tear down society. Meanwhile, it's like Farquad, and I am willing to have you make this sacrifice for me. But then, when it comes up that, yeah, actually, you're actually on our property, if you really want to get down to it, then they're all like, oh, wait a minute, that's my mansion. I'm talking to you about taking the little people something. And I remember some cases back where I grew up where a buddy of mine's grandmother had a farm, and basically the local tribe, like they claimed they sold the land ages ago. They sold the land, and at some point one of my friend's grandmother's family bought the land and built a farm and everything on it. And then they basically were kind of kicked off they were kind of forced off it via the state. Because the state was like, well, this is their traditional land. Yeah, and they sold it. So, I mean, you could talk about people taking it by force, but let's be real about it. The whole concept of the First Nations is a joke to begin with because, hey, how many other nations came along long before the ones that were there when colonialism happened and basically were killing each other, taking over tribes, taking over things? But it's funny because people still buy into that whole First Nations nonsense. As if the people that we got here were the first ones. And so, I mean, if, practice what you preach, Billie Eilish, you should give up your mansion to the Tongan tribe or whoever the fuck was there. And I don't think that's an unreasonable thing. Oh, that's ridiculous. Is it? And this is what gets on my nerves about a lot of vapid rich people. Just like the Farquad example, they are perfectly willing to sacrifice you for their cause. They're perfectly willing to go out there and tell you how you should riot, you should burn stuff down. Earlier this week, that guy that got busted because I think it was the guy that busted into the church, the really loud, annoying guy. Yeah, blah, blah, fascist, blah, blah, Christians. That guy. Looked like, gutter punk Rasputin. And he was getting arrested. And before he got arrested, he was telling everybody that they should go out there and be ready to take out the cops. Well, when the cops showed up for him, did he stand his ground and, to his last breath? Fuck no. He just quietly went with the police. And this is one of my issues with a lot of people. Everybody's got a lot of, outlooks of how you should sacrifice for the cause, while they sacrifice nothing. They teach you over the course of your life how to do nothing, be nothing, achieve nothing. And then they have the attitude, the tenacity, or the audacity, I should say, to tell everyone, well, you need to sacrifice for the cause. Meanwhile, what do they sacrifice? How many people could have been educated to have a better job, a better life, a better something, of all the money and time they were wasting telling you to go burn down society? These rich, elite liberals, Hollyweird, how many dentists could they have trained with the extra money they just piss away on some stupid shit? How many, tradesmen, electricians, plumbers, truck drivers, how many people could they have actually inspired to be something incredible? Let me get this to move this over. Like that. And I'm just saying it because it seems a little ridiculous to me that these same people with all their high-minded ideals, then when they're confronted with it, it's like, well, you're the one saying stolen land. What do they do? Well, you need to get these people off my property. I thought it was funny. Some guy from Australia was like, and I'm coming to your palatial estate to claim it because I am not an American and no one's on stolen property. No one's illegal on stolen property. So he's like, it's the funniest fucking thing, right? You know? And I just wish these Hollywood people, and they never will, would practice what they preach. Or how about this? Average American, stop taking Hollywood or stars seriously. Their job is to act. They're there to act. And as far as a lot of activists, stop taking a lot of these activists seriously. Because let's be honest, if your job is basically, what's that doing up there? That's almost done. If your job is basically just holding a sign and screaming at something, you don't build a fucking society doing that. You're professional activists. Like, I had friends that were like that, and they were like, young 20-somethings, teenagers and young 20-somethings. Most people have kids and then they grow up. Some people, like myself, just one day grow up. But if you're in Hollywood or you're some sort of like leftist activist, it's always about the cause. And by the way, sometimes these leftist activists remind me of like the insanity you would see with some of the folks that were libertarians, where it's like, the government's not doing this. And it's like, dude, how hard are you working? How hard are you working just to maintain that outlook? Like, if you just put a little effort into your life, you could have basically already been retired years ago. Instead, you've been fighting a cause that literally does little, if anything, nothing for you. But then they get all riled up because, they got a bunch of people that all think the same. And usually you got some charismatic leader. And the charismatic leader tells you, just like Hollywood, that you should go out and fight the cause, die for the cause, get shot for the cause. So I'm just saying, Billie Eilish, man, practice what you preach. Nobody's illegal on stolen land. According to Tonga tribe, that's stolen land. What the fuck you doing on it? You should give up your mansion. But we all know that's not going to happen. What's likely to happen is, somebody will do a stupid stunt and then the police will haul them off and the media will forget about it. And this should be just another thing in the line of stupid crap from liberals. And what is this one? Just like the people who said, if Donald Trump wins, I'm moving out of the country. Donald Trump won and they're still around. Donald Trump's here. You're still here. Can you practice what you preach? Just like, hey, no one's illegal on stolen land. God damn it. Get on the ground over there. That's fucking annoying. So anyways, that's just my thoughts on the Billie Eilish nonsense. Because it's just like, it seems so fucking funny to me. Anyways, take it easy.